Hello and welcome to another video training series for Unreal Engine 4. Over the next several videos, we're going to be taking a look at how we can put together our own little third-person game as you see here. Now, if you've been playing around with Unreal Engine 4 for a while, you might recognize what's going on. This is essentially the same type of setup as the existing third-person template. However, we're going to do this entire thing from scratch. I've been talking to several users at some events, of course in my email and some correspondence, and a lot of folks are really wondering how they can take what those templates offer and do it entirely on their own, right? What if they had a character that they put together in 3ds Max or Maya? How do they get that into the engine and set up and controlled starting from nothing? So that's exactly what we're going to do. So I'm going to show you how you can get your hands on some starter FBX files, and that's all we're going to have. We're going to create a brand new project, pull these FBX files into it, and create everything else by hand. Now, in order to make all this happen, we have a big stack of topics that we need to go over. So from top to bottom, we're going to be taking a look at importing FBX files. We're going to look at skeleton assets, what they are, how they work, some things to keep in mind when sharing skeletons between characters. We're going to be taking a look at Persona, which is the animation tool inside of Unreal Engine 4. We'll talk about how to properly set up inputs on a character. So how to go into your project settings and add the inputs that you need so that you can use them later, including setups for game pads and touch controls, as well as standard PC mouse and keyboard style controls. We're going to look at blend spaces, which are a way that you can blend between multiple animations based on really a variety of factors, but we're going to do it based off the speed of the character. So you can go from kind of like an idle state into a walking animation and then into a run. We're going to look at animation blueprints, so how you can get data from the game, from a character blueprint, and then essentially transition that into the final animation that your character is actually doing. We're also going to look at state machines, which are a way that you can create sort of a flowchart or a graph of all of the different states or things that your character is doing and smoothly flow between them as rules. And a lot more information will be coming on that when we actually get to that video. And then we're going to take a look at setting up a character blueprint specifically, and not just the setup, we're also specifically going to be looking at the difference between character blueprints and pawn blueprints. Because for a lot of people who are just getting into Unreal Engine 4, particularly from like if you had a history in UDK or Unreal Engine 3, some folks don't really know which of those two to begin, and we're going to talk about that as we get into this project. So we got a lot to cover. Again, our end goal is to get all the way to this point. So starting with just some FBX files, we're going to have a fully playable character that we can run around, build our own environments in, and he can move around, he can run in any direction. We have a camera that can rotate freely around the character. He can also jump. Right now his jump is a bit excessive, but you'll see how to edit that and make changes to that on your own. So really, with all of that understood, let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you where you can get your hands on these FBX files, and we can start assembling our project.